Sometimes I'm feeding them together with the assistant coach with so much information, how to do here and how to do here and how we can do here, and then you can use different options here, and then so much theory and been longer theories after the game. So, but they just like kids when they watch the screen, they're just in it and they just try to learn and they just try to develop and they try to talk football with me. So I'm so impressed by the squad, the players, how they react to everything. I think it's an amazing group.
Well, Kim, go and lie down. You've earned it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
There's Kim Hellberg with Mark. And just finally, fantastic result, and it's over to everyone else, in particular Ipswich.
Absolutely. I could listen to him all the time. For hours, he's such a good talker. Really is. And we've got a top manager. Over to Ipswich, over to Coventry, up the Borough.
Borough win 4-0. Next, Norwich City at the Riverside for their next challenge. BBC Radio T Sport here until 6 tonight. 95 FM DAB. Freeview 714. BBC Sounds now for your second commentary from the National League. It's Brackley against Hartlepool United. Let's join Rob Law.
Thank you, Paul. Timing perfect at St James Park here in the National League. Hartlepool United have made the trip to Brackley, just a stone's throw away from Silverstone. But here, this afternoon, it is about National League action. Pools dressed all in orange against Brackley in the familiar white and red vertical stripes. And Pools looking to make it 3 straight wins on the bounce. And Nicky Featherstone, controversially though, has named an unchanged side, which means Nick Hayes starts in goal. It is a back four of Rhys McNally, Max Coogan, Tom Parks the captain, and Jay Ben. Is a cross into the box early on for Hartlepool United that's headed away, only as far as Rhys McNally, who's starting at right back as he turns in field. Nudges the ball into the centre circle, but the free kick is for Hartlepool United for the foul on Rhys McNally. So chance to run you through the rest of the teams. Jack Hunter, Nathan Sherrin and Jamie Miley makes up the midfield, with Adam Campbell, Alex Reid and Luke Charman starting as a 3 up front. Campbell booed off in midweek during the win over Gateshead, but does keep his place here this afternoon. Free kick to Pools. Miley, flat trajectory to the edge of the area, easily headed away, only as far as Wadsku, but he's dispossessed by Sherrin. A shot from Charman that's palmed down into the turf and gathered at the second attempt by Cameron Gregory. First shot on target for Hartlepool United comes inside the second minute. Brackley on the attack with Newton down the left hand side. Low ball to the edge of the box as Pools are able to crowd out their man and clear the lines just short of the halfway line, only as far as Michael Nottingham. And now Byrne, the captain for Brackley, hits a huge diagonal ball over to the far side. Across into the box. Pools have to be wary of this. It's missed by McNally, and Hunter able to clear, but Brackley get it back. Left hand side of the penalty area, comes back out once more, lofted into the box, and Pools able to clear with Jay Ben and flicked on by Charman. But the red and white shirts of Brackley in possession, they get it back and look to turn and try and build their own attack with Byrne once more. Hoisted towards the edge of the area, headed behind, and it will be the first corner of the game that comes 3 minutes in on BBC Radio T Sport. Yes, if you're just joining us or you're staying with us after Middlesbrough's just absolutely convincing win over Preston in the Championship, then we'll keep you up to date with all the scores elsewhere throughout the afternoon in the Championship. Ipswich in action, Hull City as well, as Brackley goes short from the corner to the front post. It's delivered, headed away by Alex Reid, comes back into the area, but again Pools able to work it away. Now they look to try and counter, and Jamie Miley asking an awful lot of Luke Charman, I beg your pardon, who will race down the left hand side but is beaten to it, and Brackley able to clear into the centre of the pitch. Miley underneath it but overhit by some way, and the ball settles at the feet of Cameron Gregory. I can run you through the Brackley side then. 3 minutes in, Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 on BBC Radio T Sport, our second featured commentary of the afternoon. And Brackley unchanged from a 3-3 draw at Truro in midweek. A game that they travelled to and from in a single day. They didn't get back until 4 a.m. The following morning. It was an incredible journey for Brackley. They are still a part-time outfit, so will that have an effect on the home side here this afternoon? As a flicked-on header by Ben Wodsku that trickles through to Nick Hayes in the Pools goal. Away to our left, dressed all in purple. So Brackley with Cameron Gregory in goal. It is a back three of Tyler Little, the Birmingham Lawnee, Kyle Morrison and Michael Nottingham, the wing-backs of Byron Pendleton and Matt Law, with Shane Byrne and Zach Brown in midfield. You have Scott Pollock and Ben Wodsku a little bit further forward. Wodsku, who scored 3 in 3 on loan from Birmingham, and one that Pools will have to watch carefully here this afternoon. The man leading the line up front is Danny Newton, on loan from Harborough Town. The referee this afternoon, Greg Rawlinson, who is the man with the whistle here at St James Park in the National League. A ball forward that Tom Parks will settle on, goes back to Hayes to his left. The goalkeeper launches it high up into the cloudy afternoon sky here in Northamptonshire as Hunter wins possession, gives it to McNally, the pair exchanging passes. It is a stadium here, St James's Park, with a capacity of 3,500, have 300 seats. The rest is all terraces. Away to our right hand side with the Francis Oliver stand, and away to our left where the Hartlepool United fans are housed, many just leaning on the barriers in front of them. Normally get about 1,500 the average gate here at Brackley Town. There is a Hartlepool United fan away to our left who I keep turning to have a look at, because all afternoon long, I've been here since about midday, and so has this particular Hartlepool United fan, who is the only man in the travelling Pools army that has his t-shirt on. Everybody else has hats, scarves, gloves, everything, but there is one hardy soul in the travelling contingent wearing just his t-shirt as his top layer this afternoon. I can tell you it is bitterly cold as Pools win the ball on their own byline. Brackley get it back though, and Pools not convincing on the edge of their own penalty area so far, as Matt Law swings a deep cross in, a header that clatters off the crossbar. The follow-up header comes in and it's palmed down into the turf and gathered by Nick Hayes at the second attempt. Well, it was Danny Newton arriving, clipped his header. It beat Nick Hayes but didn't beat the woodwork. The follow-up from Ben Wodsku, looking to make it 4 in 4 and put it straight into the arms of Nick Hayes. So it is Brackley Town who land the first meaningful blow of the afternoon, and the home side will know that they have to start quick, and they might be in again. Deep cross to the back post. Wodsku tries to pluck it out the air, but it rolls off his boot and behind for a goal kick. Real opportunity there for Brackley. The cross delivered from Matt Law was inviting to the back post. Danny Newton arriving, got a good connection, but it was denied by the crossbar. So 0-0 on BBC Radio T Sport this afternoon in the National League. Pools looking to make it 3 wins from 3. This is the first ever league meeting between the two sides. 4 previous meetings have all been cup games, and this is the scene, of course, last season where the teams met in the FA Cup, and it was defeat here that saw Darren Sarl sacked as Pools boss. I remember interviewing him under the Francis Oliver stand away to our right hand side. Did the interview with Darren Sarl, and afterwards he said, well, that's me then. I'll see you down the road. And I think the writing certainly on the wall. He seemed to have an idea that his time as manager at Hartlepool United was up, and so it proved. Now the man in charge is Nicky Featherstone, just taking a seat down on his bench over in the technical area on the far side. A lot of conversation online this morning about the starting 11, and the likes of Matty Daly, Sam Falarin started on the bench despite having such a big impact in midweek against Gateshead. As Rhys McNally clears a ball into touch, and it will be a throw in to Brackley midway inside their own half as they look to build with Pendleton and working it back into their own half now with Nottingham, one of 3 centre-backs for Brackley this afternoon. Tyler Little searching down the right hand side for Ben Wadsku, who has been a real thorn already in the side of Hartlepool United. We are 10 minutes in. Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 as the ball drops out of play for a throw-in to Nicky Featherstone's side. A reminder that a win this afternoon for Pools could put them into the playoff places. That depends on what happens between Boston United and Southend. We'll keep you up to date with scores elsewhere from around the grounds this afternoon. In the Premier League, Manchester City leading Wolves by 1-0. Omar Mamouche with the goal after just 6 minutes. That's after West Ham beat Sunderland 3-1 in the early kick-off. Here 0-0, but Brackley on the attack, edge of the area, low ball into the box to try and split the defence. It's defended by Hunter, comes back out to Pendleton. The angle was closed and Pools have won it back. Reid into Nathan Sherrin, and now Luke Charman looks to run at his man, and he does so. Little backtracking Charman drifting infield. Now Hunter joins the attack, as does Rhys McNally as the makeshift right back finds Charman, wants to deliver the cross, left footed to the front post. Reid is there, back to goal. He has to work to keep it alive. He wants the corner instead. It goes out for a goal kick, and it remains Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. But good link-up play there by Pools to move the ball swiftly up the pitch from left to right, from near side to far and back again. The ball into Reid was a nice idea from Charman, but Reid had red and white shirts breathing down his neck to quickly crowd out the angle and deny him a chance to turn and shoot. In the Championship then, the early kickoffs, as you heard, Middlesbrough 4, Preston 0, a double for Tommy Conway. Morgan Whittaker, Alan Brown, the other goal scorers for Borough. All the post-match reaction, Borough fans, is on our X feed at BBC T Sport, or you can find it on our dedicated BBC Sounds page. Just search Middlesbrough in the search bar. It'll take you straight to our page there. You can subscribe and hear all the post-match reaction. Pools on the attack as Sherrin finds Alex Reid trying to settle the ball down on the edge of the area and loses possession as Brackley look to clear, but as they do, Jay Ben intercepts. Now centre-back Max Coogan inside the centre circle. Hunter to Sherrin, and now Ben across the surface to Alex Reid, who dropped deep. Ben on the overlap, finds him now, gets it on his right foot. He's playing as a makeshift left back is Jay Ben, as Reid tries to little quick ball round the corner to Charman. Outstretched leg of Charman isn't able to settle the ball, and it runs out of play for a goal kick. 0-0 it remains, 13 minutes in. The other early kick-off in the Championship today saw Millwall 4, Charlton 0. There are 2 early goals to tell you about in the 3 o'clock kick-offs. Leicester 0, Oxford 1, and QPR have taken the lead against Wrexham. So QPR 1, Wrexham 0, and crucially, Borough fans, it's still Sheffield United 0, Ipswich 0, and Hull 0, Swansea 0. We'll be keeping a close eye on those games throughout the afternoon. Matty Nixon, half-time here, will take you round all the half-time scores. But we will, as soon as the ball hits the back of the net in and some of those key games this afternoon. We will let you know about it here on BBC Radio T Sport. In the National League, some early scores in the 3 o'clocks. Altrincham 1, Bournemouth 0, Eastleigh 0, Halifax 1, and Rochdale leading Truro by a goal to 0. It's also York 1, Braintree 0. Here, 0-0 between Brackley and Hartlepool United. Brackley with a free kick, fired into the box. It trickles all the way through, but Hunter is able to gather it inside his 6-yard area and clear into touch for a Brackley throw. A few oohs and ahs from those sat in the director's box in front of us, hoping from their vantage point that it would fall to a red and white Brackley shirt. It wasn't to be, but it will instead be a long throw-in for the home side. Michael Nottingham with his back to the advertising boards, the ball high above his head. He launches it in now as it hangs up in the air, headed away by Hunter. Jamie Miley gets onto a loose ball and clears it for... It's actually took a deflection off Michael Nottingham, so Poole's throw deep inside their own half. Poole's up against the Brackley side, who were promoted from the National League North last season, and a team, as we mentioned before, that actually knocked Poole's out of the FA Cup. The 3-1 win here, a result costing Darren Sarll his job. This season though, Brackley started really well. They're just 2 defeats from their first 12 games in all competitions. That included a 2-1 win over Rochdale here at St James Park. They've also beaten Forest Green on Boxing Day on home soil here. So there's a few big teams in the National League who struggled to come to St James Park and to leave with anything. Poole's in possession. Alex Reid controlling the ball. Now Charman wants it on his right foot, lays it into the path of Jamie Miley, thinks about the shot, instead lays it off to Adam Campbell. Back to Miley, who continued his run across the box. McNally, that's inviting, but headed away by Brackley, only as far as Hunter. Wants to leave it for Sharon, but those two just trying to get on the same page there, as they both left the ball for each other for a moment. Pools get a throw in, quickly taken. McNally on the halfway line to Coogan, and now captain Tom Parks with the ball at his feet finds Nathan Sharon. Jay Ben is being forced back by Ben Wadsku, the white strapping around his left wrist, the Birmingham low knee, but Pools work it well. Out to Jay Ben on the far side. McNally's calling for it right down in front of us in our commentary position, low down on the halfway line. Instead, the ball is over the top for Alex Reid. He's outside the box at the byline, drills a low ball into the area, but easily dealt with by Brackley. Cleared only as far as Jay Bennett's on his favoured right foot as well. Thinks about lifting one into the area. That's byline. Drills a then to clear into touch for a throw-in. It's taken a nick off an orange shirt actually, so Brackley get the throw-in. Quickly taken. It's with Pollock on this near side. He's got Pendleton on the overlap if he so chooses. Instead he goes infield to Shane Byrne. Looks to hit a huge diagonal ball once more, but nobody on the same page as him. It goes out for a throw-in to Hartlepool United, just up from their own corner flag over on the far side. I mentioned Brackley's run of form, lost just one of the last 5, won 3, drawn 1, lost 1, and unbeaten in the last 2. That 3-3 draw at Truro in midweek. It's seen as a positive result considering the fact that they made the journey in the space of 24 hours, which is incredible. Long ball forward, many of them had work the next day. Charman picks up possession, edge of the area, encroaching into the box now on his right foot. The shot crowded out, rebounds out of the area to the feet of Nathan Sharon. Now Ben, wide on the left hand side. Pools with plenty of orange shirts forward. Every red and white shirt from a Brackley perspective is behind the ball as they shift across to try and deal with the Pools pressure. Pools just happy to have it on the halfway line and move it. It's like gently poking the bear, Hartlepool United at the minute. Coogan squares it to Parks, who looks to step out from the back as he loves to do. Lifts a ball to Charman. Little give and go with Sharon, and Sharon asking a lot of Charman there, who was just on his heels. And the return pass from Sharon goes out for a goal kick. 19 minutes in, Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 on BBC Radio T Sport, as Solihull Moors have taken the lead against Morecambe. Morecambe 0, Solihull 1, a latest score. And I should tell you, Scunthorpe against Forest Green, that is a 5:30 kick-off. Meanwhile, in the Championship, it remains goalless between Sheffield United and Ipswich, and goalless between Hull and Swansea. So the Championship this afternoon yet to spark into life, really. Maybe all the goals were raining down in the early kickoffs following Borough's win and Millwall's victory. Both 4-0 winners. Borough against Preston, Millwall against Charlton, and a result that for Borough puts the pressure on Ipswich this afternoon as Borough look to try and cement their place in the automatic promotion spots. Here in the National League, pools hoping for a win that could lift them into the playoff places. They would need Boston to beat Southend, however. And as things stand, it is goalless between those two sides. As Brackley clear their lines into Wadsku, just can't trap the ball as it rebounds off his torso and out for a Pools throw-in over on the far side between the two benches. Jay Ben looks to try and steal a few yards up to the halfway line. Miley back to Tom Parks, and now Coogan. Pools with the ball in the centre-back position, now to the feet of Nick Hayes, who takes a second or two to decide where he wants to put the ball, and decides the best route back to the feet of Max Coogan. And as Pools go long, Brackley head the ball out of play for a throw-in. McNally with his back to us, we can see the big number 6 on the back of his orange shirt. McNally down the line, he goes to Alex Reid, who has 2-in-2. Alex Reid, 7 for the season. He'll be hoping to continue his run of form in front of goal this afternoon. As Pools draw the foul on their own byline, Max Coogan just gets a shove in the back from Ben Wadsku. So a free kick to Hartlepool United. Yes, Brackley not exactly the most clinical in front of goal. In fact, we've got the second lowest tally for goals scored in the National League. That's just behind Braintree. But in terms of where they are in the division, which is 16th, the second lowest of goals conceded in the bottom half. As the ball bounces inside the Pools territory, McNally in the right back spot is able to win it and keep it. Then he clears it up to the halfway line. Brackley win it and try to get it down and try to play. They search for Pendleton, but it's intercepted. Hunter beaten to it, but he might win it back, and he does really well, Hunter there. And Sharon links up well. It was good endeavour and fight for Pools to have it. Now Reid has cushioned the ball into Miley, out to Charman, left hand side as Pools attack into the area now, low into the 6-yard area. Adam Campbell with a little back heel that drags across the 6-yard area and out for a goal kick. And considering the performance that he had in midweek, if that would have gone in, it certainly would have silenced a few critics. Beautiful little flick behind his standing leg. He gives the thumbs up to Charman for the cross out wide, but It went wide, and it remains Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. Pool's best chance of the game so far. I did wonder if it was just going to nestle into the far post. It wasn't to be, as Charman wins the header from the resulting goal kick by Cameron Gregory, but it ends up out of play over on the far side. As Southend have taken the lead against Boston, so Boston 0, Southend 1. So that is not good news for Pools, who need Southend to lose and for themselves to win here this afternoon in order to climb into the playoff places, as York have doubled their lead against Braintree. Brackley on the attack. Pendleton receives it, edge of the area, feeds it into the box. Pools are able to crowd it out. McNally is being closely watched by Pendleton and has to find the near side touchline because he's been pressured every step of the way there. It will be a Brackley throw, with Pendleton to take it. Brackley kicking from right to left towards the travelling Poolies. Pools win the free kick, and yes, that bloke is still in his t-shirt, by the way, for those who are who are wondering. People around us are putting more layers on. It's a cold afternoon in Northamptonshire. York, told you how they were 2-0 up moments ago, now 3-0 up against Braintree. Ollie Pearce with a double, and Greg Ollie with the other. Tom Parks just has to clear his lines, and he does so by trying to find Alex Reid. Campbell just brushed off the ball, and Byrne at the byline is able to clear. Just lands at the feet of Parks, the Hartlepool United captain. Now Coogan back to his goalkeeper Nick Hayes, who can bring it out from the back. Scores in the Championship this afternoon then: Blackburn 0, Watford 1, and Hull taking the lead against Swansea, and Ollie McBurney penalty after 24 minutes. Still Sheffield United 0, Ipswich 0. Here in the National League, our second featured commentary of the afternoon. Pools at Brackley. Brackley 0, Pools 0 as things stand, with 26 minutes on the clock. Jamie Miley, Pools building an attack with McNally on this near side. Back to Miley, whose brother Lewis, the Newcastle United midfielder, was in attendance on Tuesday night as Pools beat Gateshead. Pools have lost possession up by the Brackley corner flag. They try to win it back with Miley. Goes out for a goal kick. So let me run you through the scores as they stand then in the Premier League. Goalless between Burnley and Spurs, Fulham and Brighton. Still Manchester City 1, Wolves 0, and Bournemouth against Liverpool kicks off at 5:30. The early kick-off in the Premier League: West Ham 3, Sunderland 1. Sunderland without Granit Xhaka, and that's showing perhaps just how crucial he is to them this season. In the Championship, Middlesbrough 4, Preston 0 was a full-time score. Tommy Conway with 2. Preston with a man sent off after the 50-minute mark. Millwall 4, Charlton 0, a full-time score also. And in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, goalless between Birmingham and Stoke: Blackburn 0, Watford 1, Bristol City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Hull 1, Swansea 0, Leicester 0, Oxford 1, QPR 1, Wrexham 0, and Sheffield United 0, Ipswich 0. Although Blackburn have just equalised against Watford, so 1 apiece there. And in the National League, Altrincham lead Bournemouth by a goal to 0, Boston 0, Southend 1, Eastleigh 1, Halifax 1, Morecambe 0, Solihull 1, Rochdale 1, Truro 0, and York leading Braintree by 3 goals to 0, while it's goalless between Tamworth and Sutton United. And goalless here at St James Park, Brackley against Hartlepool United. With me, Rob Law, thank you as always wherever you're listening to us this afternoon on 95 FM, DAB Digital Radio, Freeview 714, or on BBC Sounds. Appreciate your company. If you want to send us a message this afternoon, you can. You can text 81333, start the message with the word Tees, or if you're on X, then at BBC Tees Sport, or you can get me personally on at Roblaw Tees. There's Pools with a free kick deep inside their own area, lifted up to the edge of the Brackley box. There's Campbell, plucks the ball out of the air, does well there, manages to get a second chance to find a pass and finds Miley, but Miley is crowded out inside the Brackley box. Now Rhys McNally inside his own half after a Brackley clearance. Sherrod inside the centre circle, centre of the pitch. J. Ben back to Tom Parks. We have just over 15 minutes to go until the break. Thank you to Pooley Scott, who says desperate to be proved wrong, but keeping the same starting 11 to me seems ridiculous. We'll be over to Darlington very shortly for an update on their game in the National League North against Chorley. Pools on the attack. Luke Charman with a cross that he scuffs into the turf, and it's out for a goal kick. So it's Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. Our featured commentary here this afternoon on BBC Radio T Sport. We're also keeping you up to date in the National League with Darlington. That's being watched by Ray Simpson. Ray.
28 minutes gone. It's Chorley 0, Darlington 1. The Darlington have absorbed a load of pressure from Chorley. Pete Jameson has pulled off a couple of good saves. Mark Ellis went close with a header for the home side, but on 23 minutes, Darlington sprung the offside trap. The ball straight out to the right-hand side by Will McGowan to Matt Towles, who ran forward, squared the ball in the area, but Cedric Main, the side foot passer stranded Matt Irwin. Chorley went crazy because they thought there was an offside in the build-up, and they might be right, but nevertheless, Darlow are in the lead. It's Chorley 0, Darlington 1.
Thank you, Ray Simpson, for that, keeping us right up to date in the National League North. Chorley against Darlington. No Spennymoor Town this afternoon. Their game was postponed as Brackley have a free kick just short of the halfway line. Thank you to Jordan, who's been in touch. Is any word on Jermaine Francis, Rob? I can't imagine him getting a look in if Falarin and Daly can't get into the side. A free kick from Brackley, hung up into the Pools penalty area. More on that shortly as Pools trying to fight to get it away. Back into the box it comes. McNally gets a head on it. Wadscoot cross into the box again is dangerous, but Pools are able to deal with it, and Campbell can't complete the clearance. It's to the feet of Shane Byrne. Out to the right hand side. This is sustained pressure from Brackley. Delivery into the front post, which is easily gathered by Nick Hayes, the Brackley forward. Danny Newton was offside anyway, so nothing would have come from that, but out for a goal kick. Going back to the question about Jermaine Francis, I know he was called up recently for Grenada, wasn't he? But he has been absent from a few matchday squads. I'll certainly ask the question after the game about his whereabouts. Always a popular player, Jermaine Francis, amongst the fan base, as Pools in possession. Just short of the halfway line, through the centre of the pitch with Coogan, now out to McNally, crossing the halfway line now, getting the white chalk on his boots as Coogan finds Hunter. Pools moving the ball really well when they get the opportunity to find their rhythm. Trying to do just that now with Campbell. Ball infield, looks for Reid and finds him edge of the box. Reid lays it off for Miley, square to Hunter. Now Campbell back to Hunter, encouraged to shoot. Instead he squares it to Luke Charman. Campbell queuing up on the edge of the area. Pools here. Miley finds McNally. That's a good cross to the centre of the goal and headed away. He'll come out to Hunter. Campbell over the top. What a ball that is for Jamie Miley. Delivered to the back post. A header from Reid that just goes wide. The right hand post of Cameron Gregory. That was an opportunity. The build up play from Pools there was really impressive. Sustained pressure. No passes wasted. The ball over the top from Campbell to Miley was inventive. And Miley's delivery picked out Reid, whose header just glanced wide of the mark. Pools potentially finding their rhythm with 33 minutes on the clock. 0-0 on BBC Radio T's Sport. Thanks to Phil, who's been in touch. He says, hey Rob, where's Robbie? Not going to be getting anything with this negative lineup, but I hope I'm wrong. No Robbie Stelling today. He has a weekend off, deservedly so. So Robbie Stelling of the Hartlepool Mail will be back with us for the next game, the next away game that is. But he's well missed here this afternoon in the press box, that is for certain. Pools have it with Charman, left hand side. He has been the outlet so far this afternoon. The cross is blocked at close range. Brackley able to clear up to Danny Newton, shot at the halfway line. He's dropped deep. Brackley searching for Ben Wadsku. Pools intercept. Now Hunter looks over the top for Alex Reid. He's in at the angle. It's tight. The shot is blocked by the foot of Cameron Gregory. Did well to stand his ground there, did Gregory. He was unmoved as Reid was bearing down on goal. The angle was getting tighter by the second, but a big size 10 denied Alex Reid there. I think Gavin Cowan, the Brackley manager, felt there was a handball in the build-up there. He was screaming and jumping up and down over on the far side. So Brackley would have felt aggrieved if that had led to a goal, I'm sure. But 0-0 as it stands on BBC Radio T's Sport, as Zach Brown out to the right-hand side. Brackley on the attack. Law now finds Little. Looks to just dink one, lift it into the 6-yard area, but claimed by Nick Hayes. Then balls it out, overarm. What a throw from Nick Hayes. It crosses the halfway line, but doesn't reach Luke Charman. Intercepted. And the red and white shirts of Brackley have it. Down the far side with Scott Pollock. Good challenge there from Tom Parks to just nudge Brackley back a couple of yards. Delivery, left-footed into the area. Pools win it and bring it away with Jamie Miley. He's got space to run into. He needs a bit of support. Reid tries to provide it. Finds him now. Reid back inside his own half. Now Hunter, who's been tidy this afternoon, Jack Hunter, just keeping the ball ticking over as Sharon spreads the play out to Charman on the left-hand side. This is bright and busy from Pools. A delivery from Charman. Nobody at the back post. Jamie Miley was arriving, but it was too far in front of him. Skips up off the turf and out for a goal kick with just under 10 minutes to go until half-time. Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. Thanks to Michael in touch on X at BBCT Sport, or at Rob Law Tees if you want to get in touch. He says, OK, don't change a winning team, but the starting 11 couldn't score past Gateshead, who before Tuesday had conceded 63 goals in the league. A lot of you discussing the starting 11 that Nicky Featherstone has picked here this afternoon. I do just wonder if with the inclusion of Adam Campbell, it is to try and keep his confidence alive. As Brackley on the attack, a big cross there from Matt Lowe, but it was overhit by somewhere. It goes out for a goal kick. Yeah, I do wonder how much of is more of a psychological thing this afternoon, keeping Adam Campbell in the starting 11. If you drop him, does it compound things even more, maybe? Does it dent his confidence even more? And with it being away from home, does it just give him an opportunity to try and right a few wrongs?
They get appointed separately to us.
We will, of course, get the chance to speak to Nicky Featherstone after the game. Campbell picks up possession midway inside the opposition half, finds Miley, who goes for a shot from distance, takes a deflection as it spirals out to this near side. McNally wins a throw-in parallel with the Brackley penalty area with 38 minutes on the clock. Still waiting for the breakthrough. Pools take the throw-in. Hunter finds Miley running across the pitch from right to left, gives it to Jay Ben. And now Hunter into the feet of Campbell, goes between two red and white shirts, right-footed effort that flashes wide again at the right hand post of Cameron Gregory. Good work from Campbell there, settled the ball, turned, got between the two Brackley shirts. The space opened up for him, but he just pulled it wide. And it remains 0-0. As the ball out of play for a Brackley goal kick. So let's get an update on Chorley against Darlington. It's being watched by Ray Simpson.
37 minutes gone. It's now Chorley 1, Darlington 1. Chorley again got the Darlow defence under pressure. They had so much of the game early on with chances, but they equalised when the ball was helped into the penalty area by Lalkovic for Harry Ibbotson to side foot past Peter Jameson. 6 minutes to half time, and it's Chorley 1, Darlington 1.
So an equaliser for the Quakers in the National League North. Thank you, Ray Simpson. Still 0-0 here in the National League. Brackley against Hartlepool United. Pool's looking to make it 3 wins from 3. It'll be just the second time this season and they managed to win 3 on the bounce, if they can do it though. Pool's in possession at the base of the centre circle. The floodlights just flickering on into action here this afternoon. As Miley tries to find Reid, but it's cut out well there by Carl Morrison, who lifts the ball, brings it forward into the Pool's half of the pitch. Now Brown for Brackley. Everybody back in an orange shirt for Pools. And Shane Byrne finds Tyler Little out to the right hand side for Matt Lowe, laid off but intercepted by Jamie Miley, and now Pools look to try and spring the counter. It's with Charman crossing the halfway line. He's being watched every step of the way by Shane Byrne. Miley comes out to help and receives the ball, lays it off to Campbell through the centre of the pitch. Now McNally on the overlap, finds him now, edge of the box, back to Campbell. The Brackley defence has managed to get bodies back. Pools still have it. Campbell, that's a good delivery into Reid, just can't dig it out of his feet with his back to goal, and he's outnumbered, and Brackley are able to clear, and they look to counter themselves. Out to this near side for Danny Newton. A header from Max Coogan is calmly back to his goalkeeper in Nick Hayes. But I have to be honest, I know there's a lot of question marks around Adam Campbell this afternoon and his inclusion, but he has been bright, he's been busy so far. Thank you to Peter Hutzi, the Hungarian Puli. He says, well, after 35 minutes it looks like another hard fought style match against the bottom team of the table, but we're still going to win 2-0. Goals from Alex Reid, a double. Come on the team, says Peter, listening in Hungary. Thank you for that, Peter, for being with us wherever you're listening to us this afternoon on BBC Radio T's Sport. As Campbell out to the left-hand side finds Charman. Down to a walking pace now as Charman just brushes his man off and loses track of the ball. That allows Brackley to pick it up, but they've given it away on the halfway line to McNally. The groans from the home fans. Pools in possession. Campbell into the feet of Charman. 20 yards out, left-footed shot takes a deflection. In fact, it's a scuffed shot from Charman, so it will be a goal kick rather than a corner, with 42 minutes on the clock as we edge towards half time in this afternoon. Thank you to Roy from the People's Republic of Hartlepool, who's been in touch. She says Jermaine Francis only got back from international duty with Grenada in midweek, so suggests, well, he is not in the matchday squad this afternoon. Campbell wins the header in midfield towards Charman, cut out. Pools have it back though. Good work from Reid to keep it moving. And now Sherrin wide on the left, infield to Charman. The ball just runs across the top of his foot and away from him, so Brackley are able to get it back. They look long and high for Woodscoo, and there's a coming together there between Jamie Miley and his opposite number on the halfway line. It will be a Pools free kick. So Matty Nixon will run you through all the scores at the break, as Pools have taken this free kick quickly. Rochdale have gone 2-0 up against Truro. Ian Henderson with the goal. Now Reid, edge of the area here for Pools, looking to find the breakthrough. 0-0, but Pools on the attack. McNally on the right hand side, rolls his studs across the top of the ball as he tries to find a way across and past his marker Blundleton, who stands tall and true. McNally out to Miley, delivered to the front post. Reid is there, and it's headed desperately behind, this time by Kyle Morrison, and it will be Hartlepool United's first corner of the game, and it comes in the 44th minute, and a corner that Adam Campbell will take. Some fans around us head for their half-time refreshments. Corner for Pools, got Alex Reid right underneath the nose of goalkeeper Cameron Gregory, and he may be 6'3", but the presence of Alex Reid may unnerve him somewhat. There's a line of orange shirts by the penalty spot which break now. Charman with a header, goalwards, it rebounds from Miley, shot through a crowd of bodies that's blocked. It comes back out to Nathan Sherron, midway inside the Brackley half. He drifts out to the right, then delivers a booming cross that goes well over the crossbar of the Brackley keeper and out for a goal kick. So 0-0 it remains, with exactly 60 seconds left of the first 45. As York 4-0 up now against Braintree elsewhere in the National League this afternoon. And Boston have equalised against Southend, so that makes things interesting here this afternoon. If Pools can win, it could see them climb into the playoff places. In the Championship, Birmingham have taken the lead against Stoke, and Hull have doubled their lead against Swansea. And listen to this, Borough fans: Sheffield United 1, Ipswich 0, a latest score. Cue cheers from Teesside that you can hear all the way in Brackley in Northamptonshire this afternoon. Sheffield United 1, Ipswich 0. That after Middlesbrough's 4-0 victory, 4-0 pasting of Preston in the early kick-off. 1 minute of stoppage time to play at the end of this half. 0-0 in the National League. Brackley against Pools. A throw-in for Pools to defend those. It arches into the penalty area now, headed away by Charman. Offside flag is up, and free kick to Pools inside their own half. So this could be a very, very good afternoon for Middlesbrough, and if Pools can get a win here, with Boston and Southend drawing, could be a positive afternoon as well for Nicky Featherstone's Hartlepool United, as Lenny Lawrence just in front of us walks round to head down the tunnel into the dressing room. Nick Hayes takes the free kick from inside the Pools penalty area. A little flick with the outside of the boot of Luke Charman, doesn't find Reid, so it's picked up by Brackley, who can clear all the way to the feet of the Hartlepool United goalkeeper Nick Hayes, who plucks it up off the turf, tosses it back down again, and the referee Greg Rollerson brings the first half to a close. Brackley went close in the early exchanges. A Danny Newton header after a good Matt Lowe cross, and Newton's header crashing off the crossbar. The rebound was a header straight down the throat of Nick Hayes, but Pools grew into the game, had some good passages of play themselves, but without really being able to test Cameron Gregory. A little back heel from Adam Campbell that was pulled wide. Campbell had another shot moments after from distance that again dragged his shot wide of the mark, and Alex Reid has been causing a nuisance at the top end of the pitch, buzzing around inside the technical inside the 6-yard area, trying to ask questions of the Brackley goalkeeper. But at the break, it's Brackley 0, it's Hartlepool United 0, Matty.
And Rob, I mean, you're the man watching this down at St James Park, so you know a heck of a lot better than I do, but it sounds to me like where Pools have struggled a little bit in the last couple of games, of that lacking that maybe that intensity and that cutting edge going forward. Is that a similar problem that they're having today?
Yeah, they've moved the ball well at times, you know, and when they've had the opportunity to really build up their rhythm, but again without really been having too many clear-cut chances. It's all been, the odd shot from distance, a glancing header wide from Alex Reid, a little back heel from Adam Campbell that, albeit was worked well, just didn't come off. So there has been bright sparks there, probably more so than the first half against Gateshead, I would suggest, or the first half against Woking, that's for sure. They've created more, they've looked better on the ball in moving it around and trying to build and bring Alex Reid into play more, but without that decisive moment to break the deadlock. So I think Nicky Featherstone will be maybe quietly happy with that at the break. Considering Brackley hit the crossbar inside the opening 10 minutes. Since then, they haven't really had too many opportunities, the home side. And again, I just wonder how big a part Sam Fallara and Matty Daly will have in this game in the second half, given the fact that Brackley had that long trip to Truro in midweek. This is a team that is still part-time. The longer this game goes on, the more I think it suits Hartlepool United down to the ground with the bodies that they have to come off the bench in the second half.
And just before I let you go and grab a cuppa, because I know it's not easy being there on your own, Rob, just a quick one on the WhatsApp from Alan, 08321 333. Start your message with T's if you want to do the same as Alan this afternoon and get in touch with us at BBC Radio T Sport. Alan just simply says, Rob, is Landon there today?
I haven't seen it. So there is the director's box away to my left-hand side. I've seen Joe Monks here, I've seen Lenny Lawrence here. I haven't seen Landon Smith, the new owner, here as yet, but I will, during the break, I shall have a little gander away to my left and see if I can spot him.
There we go. Inspector Law on the case for you, Alan. Thank you very much, Rob. Back to you in the next few minutes for second half commentary on Hartlepool United's trip to Brackley Town in the National League here on your BBC Radio T Sport. We'll also bring you up to date with the latest from Victory Park, where Darlington are away at Chorley in National League North. Ray Simpson will do us a report from there in the not too distant future. And I'll have all the scores for you from up and down the country after this.
BBC Radio T's Breakfast with Amy Oakton.
Why is Taylor Swift inspiring runners on Teesside?
Taylor Swift is one of Hannah's biggest artists. Taylor Swift's song can range from 2 minutes long to 10 minutes long.
Has anyone chosen a 10-minute song?
It's coming up.
That's 10 miles.
All too well, yeah. Next week, that's
word.
sometime, yeah. Hannah's been suffering right through school, college, uni. It takes about 7 years to be diagnosed with endometriosis.
7 years?
It's really debilitating for Hannah. It completely wipes her out, knocks her physically, knocks her mentally. And even by just doing this month, she's already had people getting in touch with us saying, I've got that as well. So that's helping a lot.
BBC Radio T's Breakfast with Amy Oakton.
Weekdays from 6.
Proud to follow Hartlepool United.
BBC Radio T's
Sport.
Yes, second half commentary to come from St James Park very shortly indeed. It is at the break. Brackley Town 0, Hartlepool United 0 in the National League. Elsewhere in the National League this afternoon at half-time, it is Altrincham 1, Borehamwood 0. Boston United 1, Southend 1. Boston equalising in that big game as far as pools are concerned, with their hopes of pushing up into the playoff places this afternoon at least. It is Eastleigh 1, Halifax 2, Morecambe 0, Solihull 1, Rochdale 2, Truro 0, Tamworth 0, Sutton United 0, York City 4, Braintree Town 0, and at 5:30 this evening, Scunthorpe United host Forest Green Rovers. Into the Premier League then, the early kick-off finish, West Ham United 3, Sunderland 1. At half-time at Turf Moor, it is Burnley 1, Tottenham 1. Also at the break, it is Fulham 0, Brighton 1, and Manchester City 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. At 5:30 tonight in the Premier League, Bournemouth host Liverpool. In the Championship, we're going to hear more about this shortly. In the early kick-off, it finished Middlesbrough 4, 10-man Preston North End 0. And as you'll hear in a sec, things going very nicely for Borough in terms of the automatic promotion places as things stand this afternoon. Elsewhere in the early kick-offs, it finished Millwall 4, Charlton Athletic 0. At half-time, it's Birmingham 1, Stoke 0, Blackburn 1, Watford 1, Bristol City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Hull City 2, Swansea City 0, Leicester 0, Oxford United 1, QPR 1, Wrexham 0, and that all-important score that I trailed ahead to there, Sheffield United 2, Ipswich Town 0. The Blades with 2 goals towards the end of that first half to send Teesside into raptures once more after that win a little earlier today at the Riverside. Elsewhere in League One this afternoon, a few early kickoffs there. Finished Cardiff 1, Stockport 1, Huddersfield 1, Bradford City 0 and Plymouth Argyle 1, Luton Town 0. At half-time in League One, it is Blackpool 1, Northampton 0, Bolton 0, Leyton Orient 0, Doncaster 2, Wigan Athletic 0, Port Vale 0, Exeter City 1, Reading 1, Barnsley 1, Rotherham 0, AFC Wimbledon 0, Stevenage 0, Mansfield 0 and Wickham 0, Peterborough United 1. The early kickoffs in League 2 finished Barnet 3, Oldham 2, Notts County 1, Crewe 0. At half-time in League 2, it's Barrow 0, Crawley 0, Bromley 0, Swindon 1, Cambridge 0, Tranmere 1, Cheltenham 0, Grimsby 1, Colchester 2, Fleetwood 0, Harrogate Town 0, Gillingham 0, MK Dons 3, Shrewsbury 0, Newport 0, Chesterfield 0, Salford City 1, Bristol Rovers 0, and finally Walsall 0, Accrington Stanley 0.
We're as passionate as you are.
BBC Radio T's Sport.
Well, I can tell you that at half-time, right on the stroke of half-time, in fact, that Darlington have gone back ahead at Victory Park in that one, in National League North. Darlington back in front. It is Chorley 1, Darlington 2. Cedric Main with his second of the afternoon in that one to give Darlington a 2-1 lead this afternoon down in Lancashire. But let's rewind a couple of hours now then and bring you up to date with what happened over at the Riverside, because Middlesbrough were looking to cement their place in the top 2 for the time being when they hosted Preston North End, and it all went pretty well for Kim Hellberg's side.
Proud to follow the borough.
BBC Radio T's Sport.
Orlando was really strong there against Lewis Dobbin. Won it back for Borough. Brown making a run. Brown gets on the end. That is a brilliant finish, Alan Brown. He broke the offside trap, controlled with the right, finished with the left. He gave Walton no chance. Alan Brown is a man on a scoring streak. It's Borough 1, Preston North End 0. Conway, he's a mile onside. Conway through on goal, edge of the area. Yes! Tommy Conway goal for Tommy Conway. Walton came out, he got something on the ball, but Conway was not to be denied. Borough double their leads. There's daylight between them and Preston thanks to Tommy Conway. It's 2-0.
2 consecutive goals. Leon, go get your hair cut, son.
Oh, but he waited. Edge of the area. Whittaker won it back, and Morgan Whittaker has scored. And Preston players look at each other in horror because they have gifted Borough a third here. Walton rolled it out, and his defender didn't want it. Lewis Gibson has his pocket picked by Morgan Whittaker, who fires Borough into a 3-0 lead. And we've still got 3 minutes to the break. Oh, Conway, he wins it. Then he falls over as he was about to bear down on the Preston box, and he's got a free kick because his ankle was caught. Now, what is Andy Madley going to do here? Because that's a goal-scoring chance, isn't it? It's a red card. Preston's day goes from bad to flipping awful as Jordan Storey is sent off for denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Castledine whips this free kick in, the keeper spills it. Conway's there on the rebound. His day just gets better and better. Middlesbrough 4, Preston North End 0. The floodgates are well and truly open.
BBC Radio T's Sport.
Yep, so a 4-0 win for Kim Hellberg's side at the Riverside a little earlier today. Well, afterwards, the Borough head coach spoke to Mark.
Oh, that was good. Always becomes a little bit weird when you have so much emotions into the game, and then it's over after 60 minutes, and then you play the last 30. So it always becomes weird when you have those type of games. But now what a performance from the lads! What a energy performance from as we talked about, playing Stoke away on a Wednesday night, travel 8 hours in the bus back and forth, and had the West Bromwich game 2 away, 16-17 hours in the bus back and forth, and then one less day of rest between into this game, and then playing a Saturday lunch game, which is the shortest amount of time you can to rest you can get in between the games, and then put out that type of energetic performance. I think that's just unbelievable from the players.
That is the Borough head coach Kim Hellberg there, speaking to Mark a little earlier. We'll hear more from him and the man who grabbed 2 of Borough's goals in Tommy Conway as well. But let's catch up with what's happening at Victory Park in National League North. Now then, I mentioned a late goal in the first half for Darlington. Ray Simpson's watching this one for us.
Half-time here at Victory Park. It's Chorley 1, Darlington 2. Quick with their noses in front. The second goal, a quite superb effort just before half-time. Quickness have played against the wind in the first half. Chorley have had the benefit of it, and they pushed Quakers back on several occasions, forced 3 or 4 corners, and also put Quakers under pressure with long throws in the penalty area. One in particular which Mark Ellis headed just over the bar. Quakers had their first shot at goal after all that early pressure on 13 minutes when Aidan Rutledge and Cedric Main combined to set of Max Howells, who fired straight at Matt Irwin from 12 yards out. The home side had their best chance yet when Scott Wilson played the ball on his outside to Joe Nolan in the area, and his first time left foot shot was pushed over the bar by Jameson. But Quakers went in front on 23 minutes. McGowan found Howells breaking away on the right. There was a suspicion of offside, but nevertheless the referee will play on, and he squared the ball for Cedric Main to side foot past Irwin for his 9th goal of the season. Chorley levelled on 32 minutes when Lalkovic held the ball into the box for Ibbotson to side foot past Pete Jameson. Jameson then had to pull off a good stop from Ibbotson. Then Carr got through on the left hand side and put the ball in the 6-yard box, where Toby Lees got in a great tackle to deny the home side. But Quakers went back in front in first half injury time with a gem of a goal by McGowan. Main played the ball to him just outside the area, and he curled the ball delightfully over the keeper for his 10th goal of the season. Half time, Chorley 1, Darlington 2.
So the Quakers with the advantage at the break in National League North. Will head back to St James Park for second half commentary on Pool's trip to Brackley next.
Play BBC Radio Tees.
Stop asking your toaster to play BBC Radio Tees. You need something way more intelligent, like me. All this week with me, Amy Oakton at breakfast, you could win a smart speaker to make listening to BBC Radio Tees even easier. The phone lines will open when you hear the smart speaker say, "Wake up and win a smart speaker." Tune in to breakfast every weekday to find out more. You must be 18 or over. Full terms and privacy notice at bbc.co.uk/win a smart speaker. Win me and I'll play BBC Radio Tees. And I'll never burn your toast.
BBC Radio Tees Sports.
Right, listen to BBC Radio T Sport. We're with you through until 6 o'clock when Emma Millen takes over with Upload here on your BBC Radio Tees. Let's head back for second half commentary now in the National League with our Pools commentator Rob Law, who's at St James Park for Hartlepool United's trip to Brackley.
Thank you, Matty, as both teams exit the tunnel onto the pitch. Doesn't look like there's going to be any changes at the break. So Pools as they were, which is Nick Hayes in goal, back four Rhys McNally, Max Coogan, Tom Parks, the captain, and Jay Ben. A midfield three of Jack Hunter, Nathan Sherrin and Jamie Miley, with Alex Reid up front, flanked by Adam Campbell and Luke Charman. As for the opposition, Cameron Gregory in goal of Act 3 of Tyler Little, Carl Morrison and Michael Nottingham. The wing-backs of Byron Pendleton and Matt Law, with Shane Byrne and Zach Brown at the base of the midfield. Scott Pollock and Ben Wadsku a little bit further forward, and Danny Newton leading the line up front, the striker who hit the crossbar in the opening 10 minutes for Brackley. Alan texted us on WhatsApp just before the break asking if owner Landon Smith was in attendance this afternoon. I managed to bump into Lenny Lawrence at half time and asked him, and he says yep, he's here. So Hartlepool United's new owner in attendance, watching on, with the second 45 to come, and Pools kicking from right to left in this second half. And I was speaking to one of the staff members at Brackley before the game, and they said whenever Brackley shoot towards the home end, which they are in this second half, they never score. His words, not mine, so I can't be accused of jinxing it if anything untoward happens this afternoon. But speaking to him again at the break, he was not confident of Brackley going forward in this second half. They do have a free kick inside their own half, which goalkeeper Cameron Gregory is coming out of his box to take, dressed all in green. As Brackley put shirts forward, pulls with a high defensive line, headed away by Parks. Might fall to Alex Reid, controls it well on his chest, tries to play in Charman, just skips up off the turf and away from him. Brackley can clear, but it's straight to the feet of Jay Ben, who then accelerates forward, draws the foul and wins a free kick. If you want to get in touch with us in this second half, you can text 81333, start the message with the word Tees. We are at BBC Tees Sport on X, or personally at Rob Law Tees. And I want to give a mention to Al on X and Joe Knowles as well, because Joe Knowles is Al's nephew, and he sent me a message in midweek, and it was a picture of Joe looking very warm and toasty on his sofa, listening to the commentary in midweek of Pool's win and that dramatic comeback against Gateshead. Joe goes to West Park School and enjoyed listening to that dramatic comeback. So thank you, Joe, for listening in. Hope you are keeping warm, because it's freezing here in Northamptonshire this afternoon, and hopefully we can bring you the sounds of another Hartlepool United victory today, as Brackley put the ball out of play. And in fact, it's a foul on Scott Byrne, Shane Byrne, I beg your pardon. He got a shove in the back, so it's going to be a Brackley free kick just beyond the halfway line in Pool's territory, and it's going to be Tyler Little. There's a few home fans just getting back to their seats in front of us. Everybody is covered in layers this afternoon. Little hoisted to the edge of the area, flicked on header, it was almost fell into the path there of Scott Pollock, but Pools were able to clear. Pendleton can't keep it in. Will be Pools throwing. Jay Ben right down in front of us here this afternoon. So he just dries his hands on the side of his shorts. Pools in all orange this afternoon. Campbell into Ben. Now Ben finds Alex Reid. Left hand side of the penalty area. Tries to drag himself into the box, but he's fouled just outside the area, and it will be a Pools free kick. It is a very, very tight angle, this. I dare say too tight to shoot from, but an opportunity to load the box with bodies, and that is just what Pools are doing. And actually can see Landon Smith away to my left hand side in the director's box in conversation with Lenny Lawrence and Joe Monks. And he's watching on, hopefully, with Adam Campbell re-spotting the ball. He's got a two-man wall in front of him, and in fact he might think about having a go here, because the angle isn't as tight as I thought. Campbell hits off the wall, rebounds inside the box, headed away by Brackley. Hunter picks up the loose ball, finds Sherrin, and now Campbell keeps the ball moving. Sherrin down the line to Charman, who's created the space, drops the shoulder, cuts back, infield, edge of the box, little back heel that didn't have really the power on it to find Sherrin. Cleared by Brackley to the feet of Jay Ben. Brackley just can't get out. Campbell now skipping infield, gives it to Ben, but it's intercepted, and Brackley can clear over the halfway line. Now Wadsku's in a foot race with Parks, but Parks does really well to get across his man, tries to keep it in, but he can't. It is a Brackley throw, but Tom Parks did really well there saw the danger, read the play, cut across his man to win possession. 5 minutes of the second half gone. It remains Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. And across to come and take this throw-in, Michael Nottingham, who has the big long throw for the Saints. He's back against the advertising board, ball high above his head, and everybody dropping back inside the Pool's penalty area. This is danger, a mass of bodies at the front post. On at the front post, it's goalwards, it rebounds and it's cleared off the line by Jack Hunter. It drops back down inside the box. Brackley fighting for it. Pool's able to clear momentarily. Shot through a crowd of bodies that rebounds. Comes out to this near side. Kept in by Matt Law. Stands his man up. Looks to run at Jay Ben, and he does so. He gets past him. Left-footed delivery to the back post is over everybody towards McNally, and it's kept in by Wodsku. Now Zach Brown, edge of the box. Brackley sustained pressure at the start of this second half. Brown twisting and turning, trying to get away from Jamie Miley. Miley goes down as the ball hits the corner flag and somehow stays in. And eventually it is out of play, but it'll be a Brackley throw-in. A real chance for the home side there.
Off the line, I believe.
As the ball was flicked on at the front post. Nick Hayes scrambling down inside his 6-yard area, cleared off the line by Jack Hunter. And Brackley with a real opportunity. The throw-in taken short this time. It's with Shane Byrne running infield towards the centre of the pitch, delivers a cross, headed away by Parks, and he had to be alive to that as Nathan Sherrin comes out to meet the ball, and he does so. Now moves infield. That was good from Sherrin, and he looks to peel a pass out to the far side for Campbell, just overhit momentarily, and it allows Brackley to put the ball clear to the feet of Rhys McNally. Now Jamie Miley turns in close quarters. Hunter back to McNally and Coogan. Pool's just trying to settle the play down a little bit, take some of the sting out of it after Brackley went close moments ago. As Nick Hayes booms the ball high up into the late afternoon sky. The sun setting away to our right, smattering of clouds above us in Northamptonshire. We are just a stone's throw away from Silverstone. Drove past the signs for it on the way here yesterday. As Brackley with a header from Matt Law makes its way through to Danny Newton, but the offside flag was up, and it will be a Pool's goal kick, and Pool's just get away with that there because Danny Newton was in at the byline. With 53 minutes on the clock, it remains Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 this afternoon on BBC Radio T Sport. However, wherever you're listening to us, appreciate your company. Thank you to Roy, who's been back in touch. He says fancied a win today and still do. Good point about Adam Campbell. He says I think it's good management by Nicky, and he puts in brackets I hope. Thank you for that, Roy. As Pool's on the attack, Campbell receives the ball in the centre of the pitch. Now Sherrin out to this near side. It's all very congested, and the pass towards Ben is intercepted, but Brackley give it straight away again, and that has been the frustration from the home fans. Whenever Brackley do win it, it's quickly given away again. Pools overrun it with Miley, and now an opportunity for Brackley to counter, and with numbers, and they do so. A shot from distance through a crowd of bodies, and it's palmed away by Nick Hayes down to his right hand side. The ball rebounds inside the box, and Brackley still have it, this time with Ben Wodsku. Wodsku wants it on his right foot, lays it off to the edge of the area, this time for Pendleton. Now it's to Little, out to Matt Law on the near side. The cross is heavy and has real pace on it. The header down into the turf from Wodsku and collected by Nick Hayes. He balls it out over arm, looking for Alex Reid. It's beyond him, and Matt Law has it now. He's running down the Pool's left hand side. Charman is with him, tangling with him every step of the way. Jay Ben draws the free kick and does well there, Ben. It alleviates the pressure on the Pool's goal, and Hartlepool United have a free kick. but not before Brackley make a double change. So Ben Wodsku goes off, and he's replaced by Cian Harrett, who is coming on to make his debut. His signing announced just 3 hours before kick-off. And Zach Brown going off to be replaced by Morgan Roberts. Not to be confused with Morgan Rogers, who certainly plays at a much higher level than National League. So Morgan Roberts and Cian Harrett on loan from Oldham Athletic. Zach Brown and Ben Wodsku go off. Pools with subs warming up over on the far side. You can see Matty Daly, Sam Fallar and Danny Johnson all going through their warm-up routine. Cian Harrett is announced onto the pitch for his debut. Pools fighting for possession and winning it with Sherrin into the feet of Reid, out to Charman, left-hand side of play, 2 red and white shirts in front of him. He's in danger of being crowded out, and he is. And it will be a throw-in to Hartlepool United, I think. Tyler Little has stayed down after coming together between himself and Luke Charman. Both players going for the ball. Brackley are feeling like that maybe deserved a little bit more attention from the referee than it got. Meanwhile, Tyler Little is trying to stay on the pitch. He went down and stayed off for some time. This is happening on the byline, right in front of the Hartlepool United fans, who are all shouting, "He needs to go off, get him off, get him off." As Tyler Little pretends to walk off and then circles back on himself to try and fool the referee, who then points him to the far side. So momentarily, Brackley, for the next 30 seconds, will be down to 10 men. And Pools with a throw-in parallel with the Brackley penalty area. Can they make the numbers advantage count for the moment? J. Ben with the throw-in, about 5 yards up from the corner flag, 2 hour left. He's got Sherrin as an option short. Charman drops short as well. He finds Ben. And Ben has got Sherrin, but it was lacklustre really. No purpose behind that ball into the area. Cleared by Brackley for a throw-in. J. Ben takes this one quickly. Again cleared by Brackley. By Kyle Morrison. And now into touch for yet another Pools. Ben takes this one quickly as we still wait for Tyler Little to come back onto the pitch. He is now instructed to do so by the linesman. So it is 11 v 11 once again as Sherrin into the feet of Campbell, back to goal. 25 yards out, Hunter. Sherrin now to J. Ben, hugging the touchline on this near side. Sherrin is the outlet, delivers an inviting cross to the back post. Out comes the goalkeeper Cameron Gregory to claim that, plucks it out the air, and he did well, Cameron Gregory, because Alex Reid was dancing around his toes. And then as I say that, Cameron Gregory has just spiralled his clearance almost onto the toes of Lenny Lawrence in a director's box in front of us. There's a little wry smile from Landon Smith, who's put his hood up in the cold and give a little pat on the back to Lenny Lawrence there. I think they enjoyed that. As J. Ben into Alex Reid, a back heel from Reid opens up space for J. Ben, who goes down. He's been fouled. He's clutching his hamstring. Looks like a dead leg, but there will be a yellow card. It's the first booking of the afternoon, and it's going to go to the Brackley man, who has just handed Pools a free kick in a perfect area. Scott Pollock goes into the referee's notebook. Now this free kick is really inviting. Just under 25 yards out. There's a 3-man, 4-man Brackley wall now, which has been marched back by the referee. The tallest man in there, Carl Morrison, towering above everybody else in the wall. Adam Campbell. What a story it would be if he could find the net from here. Oh, and it's just touched away. A beautiful free kick from Adam Campbell. He didn't go for the near side. He went for the far side and almost caught out Cameron Gregory, who had to adjust his footing away to his left, outstretched fingertip save to push it behind for a Hartlepool United corner. And now Adam Campbell to deliver the corner after going close from the free kick, lifted into the area. Parks is there. It comes all the way through to Hunter, who gathers a loose ball. Sharon fires it into the feet of Rhys McNally, who traps it beautifully, turns really well, stands his man up. Right-footed delivery, header from Charman. Coogan is there, and Coogan scrambles it in, but the offside flag is up, and the goal will not count. Coogan thought he'd scored, so did all the travelling poolies away to our left. The goal will not stand. Coogan covers his face with his hands, and it remains Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. Will that give Pools a bit of confidence though in this second half? It's still 0-0. Out to the left hand side as Pools defending. Brackley fighting for the loose ball, neither side able to really settle it down onto the surface. Cleared out into touch again by Cameron Gregory, who twice in quick succession now has struggled to find a teammate. The only thing he's been able to do from his clearances is fire it into touch. As Rhys McNally has been fouled. He's been impressive today, McNally, playing at right back, which certainly isn't his natural position, but he's been doing a good job of it nonetheless. Pools free kick. It is 4 or 5 yards in from the touchline on the far side. Midway inside the Brackley half. Miley floats one into the area, header from Parks. It drops down in front of Charman, and Charman scrambles it in, but again the flag is up. Charman was offside. He thought he'd scored, so did the travelling poolies, as the ball nestled in to the back of the net. It remains 0-0. Twice Pools have been denied by the offside flag. Twice in quick succession. First Coogan, then Charman. What's that they say about third time being the charm and all that? 64 minutes on the clock. 0-0 in our featured National League game this afternoon. Brackley against Hartlepool United. Keeping you up to date with scores elsewhere as well this afternoon. Borough fans, hate to tell you, but it's Sheffield United 2, Ipswich 1. Jack Clark from the penalty spot has given Ipswich a foothold in that game in the Championship. Borough 4-0, I beg your pardon, 4-0 winners in the early kick-off against Preston. Hull 2, Swansea 1. And Wrexham have equalised against QPR, so it's 1 apiece there. Bristol have scored against Sheffield Wednesday. Bristol City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And it remains Blackburn 1, Watford 1, Birmingham 1, Stoke 0. The other games in the National League this afternoon. Altrincham have doubled their lead against Boreham Wood. Boston 3, Southend 1. That opens up a huge opportunity for Pools here this afternoon. Win and they will go into the playoff places. Eastleigh 1, Halifax 3, a latest score. And York still leading Braintree by 4 goals to 0. Goalless between Tamworth and Sutton. And goalless here. Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 in the National League on BBC Radio T Sport. Brackley on the attack, right hand side of play. Tyler Little goes back to Shane Byrne. Little once more, hugging the touchline. Byrne with a little ball inside. It was cute and finds a way through to Scott Pollock. Now Little at the byline, and Pools are able to block it and clear by Jay Ben. Charman headers it down into Reed and finds Charman once again, who's running down this left-hand side across the halfway line. He's got Byrne in front of him. He twists and he turns and he runs straight into Byrne. And then he's fouled him in the process. And it will be a free kick to the home side as Charman pulls himself back up to his feet. Well, the substitute still warming up for Pools. Over on the far side, you can see still Matty Daly, Sam Falarin, Danny Johnson, all out there. Ashley Nathaniel George as well, whose loan from York is up after today. We've got a stoppage in play here because Brackley have a man down, just receiving some treatment inside his own penalty area. If you want to get in touch with us this afternoon, at BBC T Sport is where we are on X. You can also find me personally at Rob Law Tees if you want to send a message through to us at commentary. Now, in the National League North, we're keeping you up to date with Chorley against Darlington. And Chorley down to 10 men, but Darlington leading by 2-1 in that. And a reminder that Spennymoor against Hereford was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. Meanwhile, in the Premier League, the scores are as they were at half-time. So Burnley 1, Spurs 1, Fulham 0, Brighton 1, Man City 2, Wolves 0, and Bournemouth against Liverpool is a 5:30 kick-off. The early kick-off saw West Ham 3, Sunderland 1. We're about to get back underway now. Cameron Gregory to take this free kick just outside his own penalty area. It goes long for Danny Newton, headed by Tom Park. So he's won absolutely everything in the air this afternoon, and he wins that one again as he heads it out of touch for a throw-in. For a Brackley throw. As the game in the second half just been disrupted by stoppages of play, and Brackley now taking their time and taking this throw-in. Goes short to Little, clipped down the channel for Danny Newton, who wins his header, cleared by Sharon into touch, and that will land right at the end of the queue for where the burgers and the tea are served, over to our right hand side. So don't forget, after the full-time whistle, we'll bring you all the post-match reaction, the Nicky Featherstone, and hopefully some reaction from the dressing room as well, as Michael Nottingham sees his cross blocked by Luke Charman. So this is going to be another long throw-in from Michael Nottingham. Everybody retreating into the Pools penalty area. Arcs into the box now. Charman manages to win it and clear it, only as far as Tyler Little. And somebody thankfully has turned the lights on inside the press box as the afternoon turns to evening and the light gets that little bit darker.
Get rid of those people.
Brackley down by the Pools byline, fighting for it, but Charman does well to come away with it. Finds Alex Reed and is back to goal. Now Miley asking a lot of Adam Campbell. Campbell going to chase it all the way back to the Brackley goalkeeper, who again almost sees his clearance go out of play for a throw-in. It was kept in actually by the head of Nathan Sherrin. Brackley go forward. Header by Tom Parks. That's going to be a Pools throw-in. No, it's not, according to the linesman. Tom Parks judged to have had the final touch. So throw-in to the home side. That's going to be a Pools. Well, Borough fans, in the Championship, you can breathe a little easier now. Sheffield United 3, Ipswich 1, a latest score. Patrick Bamford scoring for Sheffield United. You couldn't write it, could you? Cross for Brackley into the Pools penalty area. Hunter is able to stab it away. Reed tries to hold it up, but it bounces out of his grasp. And now an opportunity for Pollock. Out to the right-hand side. As Brackley tried to find a way through, but denied by Luke Charman, who is an utter nuisance, isn't he, from a Brackley point of view? He's everywhere. And now, on 72 minutes, Pools are going to make the changes. And off goes Jamie Miley. On to replace him comes Matty Daly. We're also going to see the introduction of Sam Falarin. And he replaces Adam Campbell. And I have to be honest, Adam Campbell's been bright today. He's done a lot of good things. Had an opportunity with a cute little back heel effort in the first half that just trickled wide. But he's been really involved in the build-up play and had a free kick that looked destined for the top corner.
11 for 20 for you, eh?
But for a good save by Cameron Gregory. There's also a change for Brackley.
Oh, he's gone off there.
So Yahya Bamba coming on, and he will replace Matt Law.
Show your appreciation substitution for Brackley Town on 73 minutes. Number 11, Matt Lowe going off. Bill plays number 20, Yahya Bamba!
Well, they enjoyed that, or at least the stadium announcer did. Yahya Bamba is announced onto the pitch. So the change is made from a Pools perspective. Matty Daly and Sam Falarin on. Can they have the same impact once again? Daly tries to find a through ball to release Falarin down the right hand side. It's pushed out into play by Brackley. Quickly taken, throw in by Falarin into Daly. McNally now. Falarin once more, low into the surface for Daly, goes down inside the box, he wants a penalty, nothing given. Brackley can clear to the chest of Jay Ben as he drifts wide out to the left. Now skipping infield is Jay Ben. He wants it on his right foot, but he's been dispossessed by Scott Pollock. And now Brackley look to try and spring the counter. Pendleton on the overlap. Parks does really well to clear the danger and set Brackley back about 10 yards. Pollock picks it back up though for the red and white shirts. And they win a throw-in after the interception by Luke Charman. There's going to be a yellow card here for Luke Charman. Not entirely sure what that was for, whether he kicked the ball away or not, but throw-in taken. With Tyler Little, who runs at Charman. Pendleton on the overlap, low ball into the area, and it's nudged behind by Nathan Sherrin for a Brackley corner. Their second of the game as Oxford have gone 2-0 up against Leicester. Elsewhere in the Championship this afternoon, Stoke have equalised against Birmingham, so one apiece there. So corner to Brackley here, 0-0 on BBC Radio T Sport. You featured National League commentary. This is danger. A clutch of bodies on the 18-yard line. In comes the ball to the back post. Nick Hayes is there. He's just going to let it drop out. That was a poor corner, in truth, by Scott Pollock. So goal kick to Pools as the wind just brushes around St James Park here this afternoon in Northamptonshire. As we have the candy floss skies above us. See orange, blue and purple. The floodlights beaming down onto the pitch as we await the first goal of the afternoon. Pools have gone close. They've had two disallowed. One by Max Coogan, headed in before Luke Charman stabbed one home In between that, there was a free kick from Adam Campbell, which tested the palms of Cameron Gregory. Pools on the attack here. It's Jay Ben. Wants a little give and go with Charman, but Charman's return pass only finds the red and white shirts of Brackley, who have it inside their own half. So with Tyler Little down the line to Harrott, his first real involvement since coming on as a second half substitute. They've given it away. Charman into the centre of pitch for Daly. Now Falarin being closed down, but Falarin inside the box to the front post. The cross is meeting the head of Alex Reid, but it hangs up in the air. And Brackley come away with it on the edge of their own area. Pollock looks to run it up to the halfway line. He finds Bamba, who gets dragged down by there by Nathan Sherrin. But it will be a free kick then to Brackley inside their own half. Scores elsewhere in the National League then as Otis Khan, a former Poolie, all for 45 minutes at least, has scored for Altrincham. So Altrincham 2, Bournemouth 0 now. Southend have got a goal back, but it's Boston 3, Southend 2. There's a free kick for Brackley here. Is cleared by Luke Charman. Back come Brackley. Intercepted by Hunter. Now he finds Sam Falarin, who can put on the afterburners. Tries to skip past one. Denied, but he might get the bounce of the ball. Finds Daly. Now Hunter into Sherrin through the centre of the pitch. Out to this near side is Jay Ben. He's got Charman and Reid to aim for up the top end of the field. Hunter just slows the ball down to find Ben. Now infield for Charman. Sherrin. Ben made a run. Sherrin tried to find him, but he couldn't feed it between the red and white shirts, so Brackley are able to clear back to the feet of Tom Parks, the Pool's captain, who's been unmoved at the back this afternoon. He's been really impressive. As McNally tangles with Morgan Roberts, and the ball out for a Brackley throw with 78 minutes on the clock here on BBC Radio T Sport this afternoon. As Sutton have scored at Tamworth. Tamworth 0, Sutton 1, a later score, and York have made it 5-0 against Braintree. Solihull doubled their lead at Morecambe, so Morecambe 0, Solihull 2. And it's Eastleigh 1, Halifax 3. Altrincham 3-0 up now against Boreham Wood. Pools go long, intercepted by Tyler Little. He finds Pendleton. Space opening up now in this game for Brackley. Pendleton picks out a good pass to Newton. Now to Little, running at Tom Parks. He twists and he turns, he dips a shoulder. That's an inviting cross to the back post. Nick Hayes comes out to gather it. He did really well there, Hayes. Bodies around him. And the referee pulls play back here. He just has a word with Nick Hayes. I think the offside flag was up, so it's going to be a Pools free kick that Hayes will take right on the 18-yard line. More changes being readied on the Pools bench. Long it goes. Charman wins the header. Danny Reid just bounces away from him. Charman loses out. Now Byrne fires it from a Brackley point of view straight out for a Pools throw-in. Brackley will have a chance to make their change first though, and it's going to be Scott Pollock who goes off, the man who picked up a yellow card at the start of this second half. It looks like it might be Zach Lilly who is coming on. We'll confirm that very shortly, because the fourth officials board went up very swiftly there and it came down just as quick. But it's definitely Scott Pollock who goes off, and it's actually Jack Price who's come on to replace him. So that Brackley's fourth change of the afternoon. Pools have already introduced Sam Falarin and Matty Daly. Looks like Pharrell Brown is getting ready to come on. You can also see Danny Johnson going through his routine on the far side as Tom Parks wins his header in midfield, finds Sam Folarin through the centre circle, just brushed off the ball there by Yaya Bamba. And then Bamba gives it straight to Rhys McNally of Hartlepool United. McNally to Coogan. This all happening in the top of the pitch. Sharon gives a ball to Rhys McNally and then points the way forward urgently. Folarin to McNally on the halfway line, uses his frame there to get between the man and the ball. Max Coogan, who is denied by the offside flag at the start of this second half. Tom Parks with a booming diagonal to pick out Sam Folarin. What a ball that was by the Pools captain. Folarin to Sharon, now Jack Hunter. Pools with patient build-up play, moving the ball around well here, but there needs to be an end product. Sharon into McNally, out to the right hand side where Sam Folarin is occupying the space. Good ball into Daly, edge of the area. Hunter's free on the edge of the D, finds him now, but that avenue is closed by the red and white Brackley shirts. McNally out to Sam Folarin. Need a bit of that magic once more. McNally into the feet of Daly, drops the shoulder, tries to find the angle. The shot takes a deflection and goes wide. It will be a Hartlepool United corner. Patient from Pools. Daly and Folarin involved once again.
Here he is.
And Jay Ben will be the man to take the corner as Eastleigh have got one back against Halifax. Eastleigh 2, Halifax 3, a latest score. Pools corner then, with 83 minutes on the clock. Will Pools leave it late once again? Jay Ben delivers a header from Rhys McNally that clatters across the goal and into the advertising boards, and 0-0 it remains. So change for Pools. It's going to see Luke Charman go off. He's replaced by Pharrell Brown, who extended his loan deal with the club earlier this week. The Hull City man.
3 minutes, number 11, Luke Charman going on with a big replacement with 24.
So 83 minutes on the clock. Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 on BBC Radio T Sport. Thank you as always for your company. And as Burnley have taken the lead against Spurs to continue the pressure mounting on Thomas Frank. Matty Daly plays it into Sam Folarin, just takes a touch which invites the interception from the Brackley man, who then puts it out for a throw into Hartlepool United. Those two have linked up really well since coming on. Here's a Pools throw-in, taken quickly by McNally, coming on, who's been pushed backwards by Yabamba. And it's Brackley who win the throw-in over on the far side. In the Championship, still Sheffield United 3, Ipswich 1, a latest score. QPR 2, Wrexham 1, Leicester 0, Oxford 2, Hull 2, Swansea 1, Bristol City 2-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday, and Blackburn 1, Watford 1. The same scoreline at Birmingham against Stoke, 1 apiece there. After Middlesbrough's 4-0 thumping of Preston in the early kick-off. Goals from Alan Brown, a brace from Tommy Conway, and Morgan Whittaker amongst the goals also, as Pharrell Brown is brought down through the centre of the pitch inside Brackley territory. There's going to be a yellow card here, and it's for the second half substitute, Jack Price. So free kick for Pools, not shooting distance, this is closer to the halfway line, but it is very central. Looks like Danny Johnson is preparing to enter the field with 5 minutes left to play. Jay Ben places the ball down. There is a line right across the Brackley box of orange shirts and red and white Brackley strips. Jay Ben clips it into the area. Coogan is there, headed away by Yaya Bamba. Comes out to Sam Falarin on the right hand side. McNally there to help out. He finds him now. Stabbed back to Sam Falarin. Puts his studs on top of the ball as he looks to feint and find a way forward. Stabs it forward towards McNally. Too much on that and allows Brackley to win it, but they've run it out of play for a corner to Pools. And that is Hartlepool United's 4th corner of the game. 86 minutes on the clock. You can see Nathan Ferguson and Danny Johnson preparing to come on here. Corner to Pools, Jay Ben, an outswinger, heading towards Coogan, but headed away by Morrison. And Jay Ben does really well to keep hold of the ball and win it. He gets it back from Nathan Sherron. Pools in possession. Everybody back for Brackley and everybody forward in the orange of Hartlepool United. Hunter, the ball at his feet. He's the deepest lying in a Pool shirt. Floats it up towards Coogan. It's over his head, but now this might be an opportunity for Brackley to try and counter. It's with Harrott, the new signing on his debut. Skips infield. Oh, he sells a dummy to Pharrell Brown, who buys it. Harrott shot through a crowd of bodies once more, and it's blocked, and Pools can clear up to the halfway line. Brackley get it back out to Little, who has space to run into, and he's running at Pharrell Brown. The cross takes a deflection. Sherron can settle it down and then puts his foot through it to clear the danger. The ball all the way back with Cameron Gregory, who this time manages to keep his clearance inside the white lines. Hunter out to the right hand side for Sam Falarin. Nathan Ferguson and Danny Johnson still waiting to come on with 88 minutes on the clock here. 0-0 on BBC Radio T Sport in the National League. Our second commentary of the afternoon. Reid receives it from Parks, and Reid goes down. Nothing given from the referee. Now there's a counter on here for Brackley. Out to this right hand side for Cian Harrott. Looks to deliver a cross, well blocked by Jim, the referee. Sees a ball go out. In fact, it's gone out off Jay Ben, so it will be a Brackley throw, and that's going to allow Pools to make the changes. So off goes Jack Hunter to be replaced by Nathan Ferguson. And we're going to see Danny Johnson come on and Alex Reid go off. So Reid and Danny Johnson will not finish the game up front together. It is a like-for-like replacement with 89 minutes on the clock here. 0-0 in the National League. Pools, with the way things are standing, if they can snatch a win here, it would put them into the playoff places for the time being, very much as things stand. The ball deep inside the Pools territory for a throw-in. Goes up down the line. Again, Brackley able to clear and find Cian Harrott, who's getting more and more of the ball. He's got Little to his right if he needs him. And Pools managed to rob him of possession. Jay Ben hits it long, and Danny Johnson might have the run on his marker here, but he does really well there, Carl Morrison, to just put his body in front of his man and usher it back to his goalkeeper. Danny Johnson.
This afternoon attendance is 1,017. 1,017. We thank you for your support.
1,017. The attendance confirmed. No word on the Hartlepool United following. But 1,017 the attendance inside St James Park here this afternoon as Daly finds Pharrell Brown, left-hand side of play, cuts infield towards the edge of the area. He's brought down and Pools win a free kick. In the final 10 seconds of the 90 minutes. And there will be 7 minutes of stoppage time, that looks like to me. 7 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game.
The fourth officials indicated there will be additional 7 minutes of added time at the end of the second.
Listen to that.
Additional 7 minutes of added time at the end of the second.
Hartlepool United with a free kick. Jay Ben stood over it. This is just under 25 yards out. Jay Ben over the wall and straight into the arms of goalkeeper Cameron Gregory, who was very thankful for that. And Brackley clear it. Picked up by Harrod. Jay Ben dispossesses him really well and then finds Pharrell Brown, who's able to keep it in. The Hull City loanee, wearing the orange of Hartlepool United this afternoon. Infield to Nathan Ferguson, his first real touch since coming on. We know he can hit them from distance, as we saw at Gainsborough. Jay Ben on this near side. Back out to Pharrell Brown. Stands the ball dead. Swings across in, but it's headed up rather than out by Brackley. Jay Ben picks up the loose ball. Tries to feed Danny Johnson, but again, Brackley able to get it and work it clear. As Price hits a huge diagonal there. Yaya Bamba gets a shove from Rhys McNally as the pair were running for the ball. And McNally got away with that, I have to say. It did look like a foul from here. Absolutely just give him two hands in the back. Pools winner throwing over on the far side. So 7 minutes of stoppage time, which we're into now. 2 minutes of that has elapsed. BBC Radio Tees Sport. Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0 this afternoon. As Matty Daly runs the ball out of play, but he's taking a touch off the Brackley man. Well, the fact that Halifax are winning this afternoon would actually see them go into the playoff places. But Pools on the attack. Matty Daly low to the front post. Pharrell Brown is there as it went through. Brackley legs to meet Pharrell Brown, who scuffed his effort, and the home side were able to clear the danger. An opportunity there for Pools. So even if Nicky Featherstone's side do manage to win this afternoon, it would not be enough to get them into the playoff places, and that is because Halifax are beating Eastleigh by 3-2, as Nathan Sherrin wins it in midfield, then finds Pharrell Brown inside the centre circle. He's got Jay Ben, who's trying his best to give him an overlap. Instead, Pharrell Brown goes the opposite direction, working from left to right across the pitch, picks out Sam Falarin. Falarin 1v1 with his man, good cross into the area, headed behind, this time by Michael Nottingham. And it is a Pools corner with 94 minutes on the clock. Jay Ben comes across to take the corner. Rhys McNally, Tom Parks, Max Coogan, all inside the Brackley box. Pools left it against Gateshead in midweek. Will it be the late show once more? Jay Ben to the front post, a header from Parks that is blocked and cleared. Comes back out. This time to Ben. Sam Falarin is down the line. He finds him now. That's a good cross to the front post. Danny Newton is able to clear for the home side. And Yabamba picks it up and looks to run across the halfway line. Sherrin is there with him, shoulder to shoulder. There's an elbow from Sherrin in on Yaya Bamba. And the referee brandishes a card, but it is yellow and nothing else. The linesman on this near side had a good look at that. He was right there with them both as they ran towards him. And Yaya Bamba is saying he doesn't need any treatment, but the physio is on nonetheless. And that now means that Yaya Bamba will have to step off the pitch for the next 30 seconds. All while Brackley have a free kick wide on this near side. And it's going to be Jack Price to take it. There's a one-man Pools wall, which is Pharrell Brown, and a high defensive line right across the edge of the box. We're into the 95th minute, it's floated into the area. Pools need to deal with this. It's headed up by Parks but not out. It bounces down inside the area. A shot, a rebound, it's cleared off the line! Cleared off the line by Jay Ben to deny Brackley a goal in the dying moments. Jay Ben has a cross into the area once more. Parks half clears, and then Nathan Sherrin is able to get it away. Nathan Ferguson now tries to release the run of Sam Falarin down the right hand side. It's put out by Brackley, a Pools throw-in with 96 minutes on the clock. We're into the final 60 seconds of the game. It's Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. Sherrin finds Jay Ben with Shuley, a point saving block right on the goal line moments ago. Jay Ben searching for Danny Johnson, who's had nothing to work off since he's come on. Brackley give it away straight to the feet of Jay Ben. We're into the final 40 seconds of stoppage time. Pharrell Brown receives it on this near side, skips infield, finds Ben from distance, hits one, and it rebounds. Doesn't fall for Sam Falarin though, and Brackley can clear only as far as Nathan Ferguson. Keeps it moving as he sweeps it out to the right hand side for Rhys McNally. Looks to just bruise his way past his man. He's been dragged down. It will be a Pools free kick, and with 10 seconds of the 7 minutes of stoppage time left to play, this will surely be the final and deciding moment of the game. Jay Ben is the man to take the free kick. It's not shooting range, it's about 5 yards, 6 yards in from the touchline on the far side. It's in line with the edge of the Brackley box. But once again, Danny Johnson, Matty Daly, Parks, Coogan, McNally all inside the area. Jay Bennett needs a good delivery. It's over, hit to the back post. Parks still meets it with his head, puts it back across the face, but it's cleared by Brackley. Picked up by Pharrell Brown, turning to face goalwards and wins the throw-in, but Pools won't get a chance to take it. The full-time whistle goes. It ends Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0. And Brackley in the first half hitting the crossbar through Danny Newton. The second 45, Pools much improved. They twice had the ball into the back of the net through Max Coogan and Luke Sharman, but both times the flag was up and it was ruled out for offside. Adam Campbell, who had a brilliant free kick that was curled towards the top corner, but it was plucked away by Cameron Gregory right to the top corner. A brilliant save from the Brackley keeper to deny Pools an opener, but then right at the death, Jay Ben back on his goal line as Brackley were pressing. Pools didn't clear the lines. A shot in with Nick Hayes stricken on the surface, and Jay Ben there to clear it and to save and salvage a point for Hartlepool United. It ends Brackley 0, Hartlepool United 0.
And Rob, I feel like, especially at the end there, in terms of that opportunity for Brackley that was cleared off the line that you mentioned a moment ago, I feel like we should take the positives, but equally at the same time, I think if you're a Hartlepool United fan listening, you're thinking that's once again another 2 points dropped. 11 draws this season in the National League, which is more than any other side.
Yeah, and you know, a lot will be pointed at with the team selection, I'm sure. You know, Nicky Featherstone decided to stick rather than twist, and many fans were calling for Matty Daly, Sam Falarin to start, who both had a positive impact on the game when they came off the bench in the second half. But yeah, too many times, you know, Pools have struggled with consistency this season, and if they are to miss out on the playoffs, and it does look a tall order with the games in hand that other sides have above them, it will be this inconsistency which hampers them, which denies them that opportunity to really compete for a playoff spot. But I dare say a point is a fair result this afternoon, because Brackley had their chances. They hit the crossbar in the first half. Jay Ben saving a point right at the death when it looked like the net was about to bulge. And albeit Pools had their opportunities, 2 ruled out for offside, Adam Campbell going close with a free kick, but they didn't. Those were few and far between. It wasn't like there was shots raining down on the Brackley goal. And again, I'm sure Nicky Featherstone will say in his post-match interview when we speak to him and when we ask him that he needs reinforcements. That is clear to see. The squad needs reinforcements. It needs more quality in there to choose from and to pick from. But it will be, as I say, that inconsistency that ultimately will cost Pools if they can't get that quality in which the squad sorely needs, Matty.
Rob, thank you very much indeed. It's always tough when you're on your Todd, so a massive well done on this afternoon. And thank you very much to our Hartlepool United commentator Rob Lord down there at St James Park. He'll now head off to speak to the Hartlepool United boss Nicky Featherstone, and potentially a player as well, and we'll do our very best to bring you that before we come off air and hand to upload with Emma Millen at 6 o'clock tonight. Neil listening, Hartlepool's already been in touch. Poolies, get your reaction in after today's goalless draw away at Brackley Town in the National League. Quakers fans as well, get in touch. We'll tell you how they've got on down at Chorley in just a sec, and we'll hopefully get a full-time report as well. We'll also round up the rest of the day's results from up and down the country for you after this.
Gary Phillipson.
Weekday mornings from 10.
Gary and Sonia Brown. Well, they're doing something really special to celebrate 40 years of marriage.
Remember the wedding day, yeah?
Like it
Driving
yesterday.
down in the car. All about the car, not the wife.
Yeah.
We got the car back when I was 18, 19 year old, wasn't it? And we repaired it best we could. It was a doctor's car, and all he used it for was going on holidaying. So he used to go to like Italy and Rome, Spain and Portugal and Monaco. So that's what we're trying to do 40 years later.
What's it like having a car in your marriage?
I know, yeah. I say I was here first.
Gary Phillipson.
Weekday mornings from 10.
BBC Radio Tees. Proud to follow Hartlepool United.
BBC Radio Tees
Sport.
Good evening, you're listening to BBC Radio T Sport, where we've just had full match commentary on Hartlepool United. They've drawn 0-0 away at Brackley Town today in the National League. Elsewhere in the National League this afternoon, it finished Altrincham 3, Bournemouth 1, Boston United 3, Southend 3. An equaliser there for Southend. They went 1-0 up and then trailed 3-1, but they fought back down at Boston. And we'll bring you a full-time result on that, because it clearly has an impact on Pools in terms of the table as and when we get it. Elsewhere, full-times in the National League: Eastleigh 2, Halifax 3, Morecambe 0, Solihull 2, Rochdale 2, True Ross City 0, Tamworth 0, Sutton United 1, and York City 5, Braintree 0. 5:30, Scunthorpe take on Forest Green Rovers. Into the Premier League then, the early kick-off today finished West Ham 3, Sunderland 1. In the 3 o'clocks, it was Burnley 2, Tottenham 2. Christian Romero with a late equaliser for